Hello, ladies and gentle sausages. Welcome back to Space Engineers. And I have today two lovely ships to show you guys. Now, these ships are rather simplistic cylinders, or scaffolding cylinders that are all opened up in a rather interesting manner, with a few pieces reaching down to connect them up, such as these here, to hold everything together. And they're basically designed to fly about and mine stuff with this large beam drill on the front. And as we found out in our singular survival a little while ago, you can actually put a camera right on the front of that without issue, so I've done just that. Now, the reason I have two of these, and the reason this one has little tiny extra thrusters there, is because I found that this one sometimes, while mining, would drift downwards, whereas this one up here shouldn't have any trouble at all mining to its heart's content. That said, you will notice that the majority of the inner space here is taken up with reactors. Because this is a relatively unmodded ship, it actually takes quite a few reactors to power that beam drill mod. I should say I am recording this on development build down there, the 01160005 64-bit developed version. And that means that the beam drill is currently not as happy as it used to be. Now, these are both drone ships, so I'm going to do a Shift K, so we can tell which items are farthest away from us, and we're going to select the ish one here, which doesn't make any sense. Is the large... Is this from my current, camera? Hold on a second here. Anyway, on the remote control, you say Control, yippee doodle dandy, and do F9, and we'll start flying this one about. Yeah, it's definitely broken, actually, because it was showing... the distances were incorrect. They were switched around, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, we'll go ahead and fly these out there. I'm actually wanting to fly the small one, though, and fly it out there. It's pretty damn picturesque, actually, these odd flying cylinders buzzing about. And we'll buzz it on down, and I have to actually move our camera so we can see what we're doing. And I do love this from a distance, how picturesque it is. I mean, look how odd that is. It's just a strange flying cylinder. I don't know, maybe it'll get comments similar to my latest exploration ship where people said, well, it's just a flying penis. Yeah, that does happen sometimes. Also, I'm going to crash it. Gosh darn it all. So there you go, those people who complain I don't crash ships anymore, there you go. Oh, it's pretty beautiful, actually. I've crashed a ship. Let's really quickly go ahead, though, disconnect from it, remove its antenna, and what we're going to do here is actually an F10, and we're going to go ahead and place this thing in again. Now, by the way, the reason why I am doing this in the development build instead of the live stable build where the beam drills would still work properly is because, well, lately it seems like you cannot copy blueprints from one version of the game onto the other, so I couldn't take them I couldn't take them to the other build. Anyway, let's go ahead. We should be able to select you, yep. Remote control you again, coolio. We're also going to go ahead and do a real quick check with the beam drill to make sure its distance is set to 200, because this little guy can't handle ranges above that. And we'll go ahead and start beaming about, and you can just see how this thing actually does look. Gotta be a little cautious on its speed there, or else, of course, you will end up with the issues that we just had there a second ago with it crashing. And there you go. You see, 200 is a bit limiting, but it spikes our power up to about 30% usage, so it could go a little bit higher. Let's go to 300, eh? Beam drill, range 300, there we are, and hopefully we won't have a power outage. The farther you go, the more power this awesome mod requires. Yeah, there we go. So you can see, pretty nifty thing. We'll aim it right here. We'll go back into our spectator fun time, so you can see it's quite the sight to see. Just this awesome thing buzzing about, mining away. I absolutely adore how this ship turned out. It's such a simple thing, but the fact that it isn't all sealed up, the fact that it's open, and I don't know, it's amazing. I like to imagine a large, huge ship that would fly up above, and these things would just hover up to it and grab stuff and bring it up there. Now, their inventory is a little limited. This one only has one large cargo container, but one of the main ideas of the beam drill is it's got that fancy little collect stone option, so you could turn that off and it wouldn't collect stone anymore. You will also notice that, unlike the beam drill in our singular survival playthrough, where it just eats through the earth like crazy, this one seems to, well, not be chomping through it very quickly. Well, I can actually go ahead, aim it down at the ice, and you'll see it also isn't exactly the quickest mining ice even. But hey, look at those little orbs floating towards it. How cool is that, eh? I love that, the fact that the orbs sort of chase it. And there we go. Nice, sort of alien-esque, big mining drill thing sitting there, blasting its way into the earth below. And actually, we could set up a kind of cool scene here if you'll permit me a second to just mess about. And there, oh, whoa, I'm not pressing any button. It seems like when I rotate this past a certain point, it resets it. Huh, interesting little thing there. But anyway, little tiny, slightly interesting scene there of a few of these things blasting away at the Earth, which I think looks, well, pretty dang awesome. And again, they seem to now be going very, very slowly into the Earth, instead of the usual pretty great speed that we saw when we were testing on the Moon. Anyway, let's go ahead and connect into our other drone up there. So we'll do our Shift K. Should be the large mining drone. You see the distances. Very handy, that thing. Okay, and I've been disconnected instantly. I don't know why that happened. Let's try that one more time. Okay, it looks like the UI here is a bit odd. I don't understand what seems to have happened here. The antenna seems to have simply switched itself off. Let's go ahead and do a tiny little bit of testing. The ship's interior, I haven't explained much of it because it is so simple. There's just basically little gyroscopes tossed in here and there and all about from place to place, as well as a little remote control thing and an antenna at the back. For some reason, when we took control of this thing, though, we lost control. Let's go ahead. Yeah, everything's owned by me. Let's go ahead and find that antenna and turn you back on. So for some reason, it shut itself off. Very odd that. Okay, let's drop ourselves back down here. This is a little tiny control platform I stuck together, which is actually fully capped off, so I can use it anywhere. I was planning to use this pretty much everywhere, even in survival, well, not survival, but in stable builds, but of course blueprints can't be transferred from dev to stable anymore for some odd reason. Anyway, Shift K this up, large guy there, double click on you, we now have control, remote control, and full control. There we are. Our power is only at 3%, so it shouldn't have been a power issue. Anyway, now I can start flying this large behemoth out and about, and this one has more than enough power to do, well, some much greater distance mining. And I just love the way these things look as they drift off into the distance. Let's move our camera once more, though, and let's try not to crash it this time, eh? Plant you right here, camera. Coolio. F9 this up, and we'll just start rotating. Oh, no, not like that. Rotating this thing about and dropping it down. Now, you will notice the hotbar here is missing its actual beam drill. That's because earlier I was going ahead and fiddling with some things, and I managed to, well, I say I was fiddling with things. I loaded this up the other day, and the beam drill had lost its ability to stop. Don't crash. Don't crash. I crashed it again. It's not my fastest, most maneuverable, safest ship ever, is it? Anyway, got another one here. As I was saying, the number 2 slot there is missing because when I built these blueprints, apparently this had glitched out on one day where it wouldn't actually allow me to do toggle on and off. Anyway, this thing should have much greater range and allow us to mine from a much greater height. We just have to remember not to go towards the Earth at such a speed. Now, it does have those large thruster groupings like these right here and right here. It's sort of a modular construct, this larger version, which means it shouldn't be still dropping like that. Come on, stop yourself. Which means I can aim it down and it should have the same amount of thrusters when we're aiming straight down as it did when it was floating horizontally. What does mean, though, is I didn't put as many power supplies as I remembered in, and I turned the beam on and we lost connection. Yeah. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. I mean, I guess, the only thing to do when things have gone that bad is throw it at it really quick. I love that little explosion thing they added. There we go. So that's what it's supposed to look like when I'm not flailing about and crashing it. I suspect that if you had set these up properly to be remote controlled by a, well, actual remote control block, as in you set a course and it automatically goes and mines, you might have more success than my flailing attempts at flying these things. But anyway, yarp. There we go. We have, a whole little mining field of these massive mining drones. Pretty cool stuff. I like them an awful lot. Some weirdness has happened, of course, as I've said multiple times now about these not mining nearly as quickly as they were before. Also, if you happen to hear any hammering in the background, there's a window being installed, so fun times. Anyway, guys and gals, I just felt like sharing this silly thing. I'll probably go ahead and toss it up on the Steam Workshop within a day or two, so check the description and it might just be sitting there. Please note, this will be from the development build, so sorry, there's nothing I can do about that. Pester the devs and ask them why suddenly blueprints can only be used in the version they were built in. Because last time I checked, I don't think a lot of things have changed that much. Anyway, that's that. Thanks so much for watching, guys and gals, and I shall see you all next time. Ta-ta!